I love how you define veneer, kind of comparing it to flooring. It's made to look like wood, but it isn't really wood at all. It's got this false appearance to kind of make people think that it's something else about what it is. And you say we do the same things in our own lives. Why do you think we put on a veneer like this?
It's a good question. I guess early on when Jason and I were talking about that specifically, we were seeing the veneer like in our own lives or in people and the church and even just all channels of culture. But when we kind of broke it down, it's we were critiquing it. But then when we saw like, well, why do we do this? We kind of boiled it down to a relational deficiency that we have. I mean, we all want to be accepted. We want to be acknowledged. We want to have some kind of success in life. And I think because we see what the world projects as success and we kind of measure ourselves against it, we're like, wow, I got to at least reach this right here. And I got to kind of hide what may be embarrassing or what may be not acceptable or whatever. And so we put a veneer on just to make ourselves look and feel better.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I know, like we were talking about just before we started this little interview here too, I've kind of run into that at work where people want to put on a certain image at work to achieve certain levels of success. So it's not as much about the work that you can actually do, but sometimes just even how you can look and present yourself to others and stuff. So it's interesting how you observe that like that.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. It's a good comment. I think probably in the workplace, because everyone can relate to that because there's pressures to produce depending on what kind of work you do. If you're in your field in particular, or even in my field where I'm dealing with writers and authors and actually leaders, there's a certain kind of there's a look that you see. I heard somebody. I was actually at a conference this spring, and I was talking to a friend of mine. He's like, "Don't you look around? And you kind of see like the look, the conference look, like everyone's putting on their best airs, whatever." Yeah. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you're right. We kind of want to project this thing that we have it together, we're successful, right. And in the workplace that can translate into like, "Hey, I got to look the part," even though maybe like what you actually do is looked at maybe second. It's kind of unfortunate.
Right.